Some towns die quietly. Pine Hollow didn't. Buried in the heart of West Virginia mountains. It's a place where the air feels heavy, like it's passing down on you. People say the mine collapsed in 1967, killed the town, but if you listen to the locals, they will tell you something else killed it. Something older than the town, something that still lives there. Tonight, you will hear the truth about Pine Hollow. And I warn you, once you hear it, you may never look at your own shadow the same way again. It was July 2003 when Daniel, Marcia, and Kyle decided to go. Daniel had heard about Pine Hollow from his uncle, a truck driver who once passed near the abandoned town and swore he saw strange figures moving in the tree line. Maria and an amateur photographer wanted shoots of the forgotten mining shakes and the church that locals claimed still ring its bell at night, even though no one lived there. Kyle, he was just in it for the thrill. He would be bungee jumping, cliff driven, and now he wanted to add explode a haunted town to his list. The three packed Daniel's old Honda Civic, which sleeping bag, food, and an ancient Sony camcorder. They told themselves they would just camp near the site, take some photos, and leave before nightfall. The road of Pine Hollow was barely visible. Cracked asphalt, choked with weeds as they drove deeper into the mountains. Cell service vanished. The woods thickened, swallowing the sunlight until only narrow strikes made it through the leaves. They reached the edge of town just after noon. The sight was unsettling. Houses leaning at strange angles, porches caved in, windows like hollow eyes straying back. The air smelled faintly of rust and something else, a damp, metallic scent like wet coins. Creepy but kinda beautiful, Marcia whispered as she snapped photos. Kylie laughed. What? You scrammed already? No, she said, lowering her camera. But it's too quiet. Where are the birds? That was when Daniel noticed it too. Not a single bird call. No rustle of animals. Even the wind seemed to be avoid Pine Hollow. The trio explored the miners' quarters first. Inside, time had stopped. Rust, lunch, pails sat on tables. Playing cards were scattered mid-game. A coffee mug still stained at the bottom sat beside a chair that had tipped over decades ago. Kylie, poking through a cupboard, found something carved into the wood of the wall. A crude sketch of a tall, stick thin figure with elongated arms and hollow circle for eyes. Breathe it where forwards scratched deep into the grain. Don't follow the shadow. They laughed nervously, jacking it up to old minds playing pranks. But Marcia's hands trembled when she took a photo of it. Look, she said, zooming in. This craving, its flash. By late afternoon, they reached the mine. The wooden frame supporting the entrance sagged like a mouth about to collapse. A faint cold draft flowed out, the kind of cold that doesn't belong in summer. Daniel swore he saw movement inside, not an animal, but a person, tall, tall, still watching. Probably a hiker, Kylie said, stepping forward. But there was no hiking trails for mills. They argued for a minute before deciding to go in. The second they crossed the threshold, the air changed. It wasn't just cold, it was heavy, pressing again their skin. The walls dipped with moisture. Every sound echoed too loudly, bouncing back, distorted. Their flashlights picked out more craving. The same tall figure drawn over and over each time, close to the viewer's perspective. Deeper they went, the stranger it became. The air smelled faintly of burning coal. Through the mine had been closed for nearly 40 years. Daniel's camcorder recorded faint static even though the battery was full. Then came the tapping. At first it was faint, like a pebble filling somewhere in the dark. Then it becomes rhythmic, deliberate, tap, tap, tap. They turned back, but the tunnel behind them looked different. The beam was warped, the floor uneven, and the shadows they weren't theirs. Long thin shape scratched along the wall, arms far too long, figure tapping into claws. The shadow moved even when they stood still. Kylie, sore and started running. Marsa followed her flashlight, jerking wildly. Daniel glanced back and saw it, a figure at the very edge of their light, tall enough that its head brushed the ceiling. Its face was pale and stretched, with pits where the eyes should have been. It didn't move, but the shadow behind it writhed, reaching for them. They ran, the tapping now replaced by the sound of footsteps. Now there something was matching their pace. When they burst into daylight, they didn't stop. The air outside felt almost normal, but Daniel couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed them out. At the car, Daniel turned to take one last look. The figure stood in the mine entrance, unmoving, watching them leave. They drove in silence for house, not speaking until they reached Daniel's apartment. That night, as Daniel replied the camcorder footage, he froze in the mine just before they fled. The static cleared cleared for a moment, and in that frame, the figure's face filled the screen. closer than he remembered. He shut the camcorder off and sat in the dark, trying to calm his breathing. That was when he noticed it. The setting sun cast long shadows across this floor. All of them moved as expected one. It was taller, thinner, and it was getting closer. So guys, that's it for today, and I would like you to all to subscribe my channel as you all want these kinds of horrible stories. And if you all want some of the horror creepy events or real stories, so I would like you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel and keep in touch with me, and love you all guys for giving me that kind of a support. So let's go, and till then, bye bye. Okay, bye, I love you.